All right. Hello, my name is Bryce Binge, and tonight I will be covering a very important time in our history known as the Renaissance. The Renaissance impacted our lives in many ways that we take for granted, including art, culture, and science. Some of the things that we do every day we don't even realize were impacted by the Renaissance. Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael were some of the most famous artists and sculptors during this time period. Have you ever looked at a sculpture or a painting and had it take your breath away or take you somewhere else mentally, completely? From my research, it's easy to see while this period in time was so influential as ideas were spreading like wildfire. First, we're going to be covering the art aspect. Art allows people to be expressive without having to say anything, as their art speaks for them. One of the most famous paintings is the Mona Lisa during this time period. Many people travel from all over the world to see the Mona Lisa and other paintings and sculptures during this time period. Michelangelo said that every block of stone has a statue inside of it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it. Leonardo turned his art into science with many of his inventions that he had and ideas that still shape us today. Art came to be seen as a branch of knowledge, valuable in its own right and capable of providing man with images of God and his creations, as well as insights into man's position in the universe. Art was based on the observation of the visible world and practiced accordingly to mathematical principles such as balance, harmony, and perspective. In Florence, they found expression through statues and creating them of their patron saints. As for the aspects of culture, it was far-reaching and helped shape many of the churches today, some of their ideas and how they practice some of their religions. While the spirit of the Renaissance took many forms, it started with humanism, which is focused on learning rather than having a wise man dictate what you know and what you don't know. With the fall of Constantinople in 1453, it led to the explosion of ideas and knowledge, one of these ideas being humanism, which helped people break free of the church and explore themselves as people and not be ruled under what other people think. Humanism was also to help men break free of mental structures imposed by religious orthodoxy, to inspire free and inquiry and criticism, and to inspire a new confidence in possibilities of human thought and creation. As the world began to flourish and came out of the Black Plague and the medieval time, advances in science were already beginning to take place. However, the advancement of science was being held down by the church, and many scientists were actually condemned to house arrest and were executed, as their values did not align with that of the church. While art and culture were expanding, science was definitely not taking a back seat. Nicholas Copernicus in 1530 published the theory that the sun is in the center of the solar system rather than the earth. Scientists were guided by experimentation and began to investigate the world through observation, said Abernathy. Galileo improved this telescope and discovered new celestial bodies, which paved the way for Newton's discoveries about gravity. So in conclusion, I hope you learned a little bit about the Renaissance tonight. Some of the aspects that we covered, were art, culture, and science, as these were just the ones that I covered today. However, it does not necessarily cover everything that the Renaissance gave us. Some of the stuff that we don't even see today still impacts us from then. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate it.